Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I am planning to make some apple cake after doing the Morning Glory muffins the other time. I still have leftover apples, so got to do something with them since I can't eat them raw. And my husband's sort of like, you can take it or leave it. He kind of likes apples, but it's kind of depends on the kind. That's what I wanted to say. uh, all right, I'll be right back. Okay, I already chopped the apples. It'll take 2 apples, give or take a little bit. It's 2 cups total. So let's see how it goes here. I'm going to cut the shortening up here. Let me turn you down so you can see. Yeah, there we go. You know how it is. Sometimes it don't go the way I want it to. It is a rainy day outside. It's a perfect day for baking. All right. I also lessened the sugar in this recipe. It originally called for a cup, but I'm only going to use a half a cup. And I kind of tend to piece up my stuff a little bit. Yes, it would probably help if I would have softened my margarine a little bit, but I didn't. So it is what it is. All right, I know that's still very lumpy, but it will get worked out eventually. All right. Where's my egg here? I would love to put up a video every week of baking stuff, but it's just my husband and I, and we can't we can't eat enough baking for me to do that. So even with sharing it with people, I mean, run out of people to share it with, right? So okay. Let me get my sifter here. Gonna need a cup and a half of flour. I know that technically you're supposed to carefully scoop your flour in. Yes, my mother taught me right. But I gave that up some time ago and just shake it off. Sometimes my stuff ends up a little drier for said reason, but anyway. I wouldn't call these cooking classes. I would call them recipe ideas. Oh dear. Anyway. Get a 4th teaspoon of salt. Need some baking soda. I don't always sift my flour either, even for cakes. But with the baking powder in there, I I do more, simply because it does tend to be a little on the lumpy side sometimes. And I don't think that baking soda would taste very good either to bite into, although it doesn't tend to lump up as much as baking powder. Gotta clear off my counter here a little bit. Because my baking space is not very large. About 2 feet. That's it. Alright. Do a teaspoon of vanilla for the flavoring. And this does have cinnamon in it. Now I got my teaspoon measuring spoon and my jigger wet. Yes, I make up my own words too. Okay. Just realized I need a half a cup of milk in there. That would make a difference in how dry it gets. There we go. Oops. Go figure. Put that over there so I don't knock it off with my right arm. There we go. Make sure we get all the flour off of there. And we add our apples. There's almost as much apples as there is butter. Just noticed. I chop them pretty finely by hand, but I know they also get a little chopped this way too, so. If you wonder why the apples are brown, it's because I've had them chopped for just a little bit. So, yes, it is very chunky. All right. I'm going to get that into the pan and I'll be right back. Okay. Get my oven turned on there. And it is going to go into a 9x13, ungreased, unfloured, just a 9x13 pan. And because it's such a dense cake mix, you kind of have to spread it out in the pan, which is perfectly fine. All right. Don't leave any batter behind. Okay, I'm gonna go get the stuff for making the, there is actually a cinnamon mixture that goes on top yet. So I'm gonna go get the stuff to make that and I'll be back. Okay, now we're gonna get this stuff put together. Ugh. You know, sometimes I wish this thing was a little easier to move. Maybe it's the operator, I don't know. Good possibility. I'm going to cut this sugar in half as well. It asks for a half cup, but I'm only going to use a 1/4 cup that is only lightly packed. And there's a tablespoon of butter in it. Two tablespoons of flour. The recipe also calls for walnuts to be added to this mixture. My husband, as I have previously said in another video, that he's not overly impressed with nuts in his cookies or his cakes. So pretty much stay away from that. And there's my little whisk here. You know, when you have everything in a crock, but it's not right there for you after all. Oh yes, that looks perfect. Okay. The oven is still preheating, and I think I want to clean this off so it's not on the bottom of my cake pan. Just want to scatter this over the top. It would be like a strudel or streusel on top. Yes, they call it streusel, not strudel. Get my English straightened out here. There we go. This is why I put only half the sugar in, because there's always more than enough. Like, some people like it really, really thick. We don't. And, you know, you want a little bit of crunch there, or whatever you want to say. But, come on now. There we go. All right. I will get this baked, and I will be back with the results.